how are you feeling after last season? You managed to come back at the very end. So how are you feeling now?
I think I'm, ready to go. I think having a tiny taste at the end of last season, really gave me that extra motivation to come back to pre-season with that fire in my belly and ready to go again. And push on from there.
Obviously, the club have been linked with signing a new centre-back within the club. Do you get consulted when the club are looking at centre-backs? Because you're the guy who is going to play next to whoever is signed.
No, of course, the club are going to sign, whoever they believe is the best centre-back to come in and play. Could be playing alongside me, it could be playing against me. That's down to the club, and whoever comes in, I know will be a really good player.
Lisa?
Hi, Levi. Obviously, the last year's been pretty difficult for you. I was just wondering what it's been like, because you got injured off the back of the Cup. It was the last game one of the last games you played before coming back. And, just take us inside your head, really, because it was this time last year, wasn't it? When it happened?
Yeah, it was the first day back of pre-season last year. It was really tough to get my head round, but I'm a strong believer of everything happens for a reason. So I just try and take it in my stride. Seeing the boys, on the pitch every day obviously hurt a lot, but I got over it, and I'm back now, and I feel like I'm a stronger person mentally and physically, and I feel like I'm a better person for it.
I think when you've spoken previously about being on the sideline, and you found it quite hard, and you had to take yourself away and find distractions and things. I was wondering if you had to do the same this time, and how you sort of dealt with the process.
Yeah, of course, I had to find something to keep my head on and trying to distract me when I could, because it was very tough. Not doing what you love to do every single day. You've got to find something new, and you've got to try and add some new characteristics to yourself, which I've done. And I think that's my advice for anyone out there. If you're going for a big injury like that, try and take your mind away from it and try and improve yourself in different ways, because that's the easiest way to try and get over an injury like that.
Was it more tricky because you're watching the team, and obviously the team, particularly second half of the season, really struggled, and you can't really get involved in help?
Yeah, definitely. When you can't do nothing to affect the game on the pitch, you feel helpless, and that's how I felt at times. Luckily I've got a great team there that I can trust all the time and believe in to work hard and and try and win for me.
Bobby, back row.
Hi, Levi. How's it been so far working under Xavi? And I just wanted to ask, because we've obviously heard a lot about how his teams like to attack, but from a defender's point of view, what are the differences? What have you liked working with him last year?
Yeah, it's an honour to play under a manager like him. He's been so good so far, especially with players like me, even like a defender, being able to have the freedom to play passes and show off your qualities on the ball. That's what I want to do as a defender. I like to create attacks and show off my passing range, which he allows me to do. So far, he's been really good to work under him. Training sessions have been good, and hopefully we can take that into tomorrow and show everyone how much we've improved.
And have you got a preference playing three at the back or four at the back? Because obviously we've seen his later team play with three. I was wondering if you had a preference.
No, I don't have a preference. Whatever suits the team the most and helps us win the most games, I'll play whatever formation. I'm not fussed.
Jack?
You said you're a big believer that everything happens for a reason, you can take things from it. I suppose while that can be true, it must have been a very difficult thing to get your head around, to work out what the reason for the injury was. Yeah,
definitely. You tell yourself, everything happens for a reason, but you start doubting yourself. Because like I've said before, you come off winning the Club World Cup, feeling on top of the world, and then an injury like that happens. It's like, it kills everything, kills the momentum, and you're out for a long time. But you got to stay positive, you got to believe in yourself and trust the process, which I've done. And I felt like, that helped me a lot for when I did come back towards the last few games of the season to be, strong and hungry to try and be the best player I can be and help the team the most.
You obviously need, especially in the early days after a big support network around you, just wondered who helped you the most, whether there are any colleagues or old teammates you reach out to for advice?
Oh, I had so many old teammates now. I had so many good people reach out to me, and it meant so much to me. I think I had a couple of players from every team I've played for, and it means a lot because it shows that people still care about you, and that also gives you that motivation to believe in yourself to come back.
And just finally, how do you look ahead to this year in terms of personal ambitions and goals? Is it something that you would write down in a journal or on your phone in terms of ticking things off, and what sort of things would they be?
No, I kind of know my targets in my head, you know. I want to try and take my game to the next level this year. I want to be regarded as one of the best centre-backs in the league this year, 100%. I think coming back for the last 3 games I think I played last season, I think the quality I showed proves that I can be, but I just got to be consistent and show it all the way through this season, and hopefully, you know, I can help my team and lead them on to good things this year.
Azar?
Hi Levi. If I know rightly, is your dad a Liverpool fan? You grew up watching a lot of Liverpool. Can you tell me a bit about the sort of Xabi Alonso aura and stuff like that, and how the boys feel about him, especially with that sort of background you've got?
Yeah, of course, he was an amazing player. Won, I think, was everything there is to win in football. So, you know, we're really proud to play under him, and, you know, on the training pitch when he shows his quality that he still has, it shows that it never goes. He's just spraying balls for no reason. It's a perfect pass, so sometimes you could be a bit jealous, but he's an amazing manager to work under, and he was obviously a crazy player, so to learn under him will be so good.
Tell us a bit about what Alonso's been like on the training ground. We've heard as well you've had those 2 behind closed doors games as well. What were they like to play, and what was the messaging and stuff like that?
Yeah, he's very hands-on, which I prefer. You know, as a manager, you want him to give you the message directly, which he's done. He spoke to me a lot and tried to help me, and I think he's tried doing that with all the boys and putting on his game plan and trying making us play the football he wants us to play, which is really creative, attacking, free-flowing football. Which I think we're doing really well. We've shown it in training, and I think you'll see it tomorrow too.
We'll go here.
Hi, Levi. Michael Parham. Look, you're speaking really positively about the impact that Xavi's had so far. So, is there a genuine belief that this team can get back to where Chelsea fans expect you to be?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, like I said, we've got an amazing manager, and I really do believe the players that we've got in the change room are some of the best players in the world. And when everything comes together, we can really be a strong force and push forward this season.
Just on Australia, have you had a chance to check out Sydney?
Not much. Yeah, I want to. We've seen a few things, but I feel like we've got a few more days. I think get the game out of the way tomorrow, and then hopefully we have some free time to go and see the rest of Sydney.
Hi, Levi. Charlotte from Football 360. Have you been surprised by the reception of the Chelsea fans here in Sydney?
Yeah, I think the open session yesterday really opened my eyes up. I think the fans are really good. There's so many of them, and I'm really excited for tomorrow.
And one more. What have you learned so far from the Xabi? What would you say?
I feel like it's just, you know, playing free-flowing football. I feel like I've played under a lot of managers that want you to be in the right position and be really rigid, but with him it's, you know, play what you see, find the spaces and really exploit them with fast pace, which I think's worked so far, and hopefully it carries on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Time for 3 more. We'll start with Simon, and then we'll finish there.
Hi Levi, obviously Chelsea are desperate to get back in the Champions League, but you yourself missed the chance of playing Champions League for the first time, so is that part of your personal hunger, let alone Chelsea's, to get back in the Champions League at the first attempt?
Yeah, definitely. I think it hurt a lot last year that I didn't get the chance to play in the Champions League. You know, it's like every young kid's dream to get a chance to hear the anthem. So I definitely want to do everything I can to get the team back in there and hopefully have a chance to play next season in the Champs.
And in terms of chats with Xabi, is he asked you, I know Reece is the captain obviously, but has he asked you to sort of be a part of his sort of leadership group and sort of step forward as a leadership group?
Yeah, I think we've got a leadership group, and I think he knows that, you know, I'll be a part of it, and the leadership qualities I have and how I like to help the team. I think we've got a few players that will be in that, and a few characters, you know, that will push every day, and I like to think that I am one of them.
Levi, obviously without the European football this year, what are your expectations of the team? How far do you think this team can go to really challenge Premier League teams like us?
Yeah, I feel like we can challenge them. Like I've already said, I feel like the players we've got in our team are ready to do that, and, you know, having a manager of this quality now, I think when it all comes together, we're definitely going to be able to challenge them and push for the Premier League.
Obviously, Cole Palmer had a year of injuries last year. What have you seen from him in pre-season and heading into this year, which he can really bounce back?
Yeah, we all know how good Cole is. and you see it every single day. Of course, last year was a difficult season for him with injuries, but we've never taken away the belief of how good he is, and he can turn it on whenever he wants.
And one final one.
David from Football 360 in Australia, just interested in how the atmosphere or the mood around the club has changed with the change of management this season. Just coming to the other side of the world to play and spend some time together, does that actually help the team bond and get ready for a change campaign? Yeah,
definitely. I think it's really positive, for us to be able to spend this time together and really connect and, be on the pitch every day and work hard. It's a blessing in disguise, and it helps us a lot, and I feel like we're going to be ready for this season.
Have you spent some time with the young Australian-born Martin in the squad since you've been out here? What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, of course. An amazing player. Really, really bright future, and we all hope he goes as far as he can.